Welcome to game number 3 of this EGC Winner Stays On series. We have Vortix playing as the English versus Hera's Chinese on Altai. We already saw this matchup of Civs earlier on game number 1, but it was Flipped who was playing, and Hera was able to pull off the English victory. Now, if you're just joining us for this series, Vortix was our champion last week, finally taking a win off of Marine Lord, where Marine Lord has been winning several weeks in a row. So Vortix is trying to go on for week number 2 to continue with this winner stays on, and Hera is trying to get his opportunity to get to be the champion himself. And we do see Chinese there with their Imperial official already working on that mill and will be gathering that gold as China does in the Dark Age. What do you think about this matchup here, Lidakor?
This is a pretty common matchup on this map, and the key thing here is something very similar to what we have seen in the Mountain Pass game, being able to apply early pressure with the English. But the difference here is that it's much more difficult to secure your late game resources. If you compare this to Mountain Pass, if both players just sort of hold on to their own sides, they do have fairly safe resources. Compare that to this map, you will have to expand a little bit more rapidly towards those major gold mines. And the other thing to note is that this map has a limited amount of wood to work with. In fact, there's absolutely no neutral wood in the middle aside from these tiny stealth forests. So only 2 patches of trees for each player means that you have to be very considerate how you spend your wood throughout the game, something that could hurt the English if this game was very long, because their unit composition with so many longbows used throughout the game is something that's very, very heavy on the wood department. Now, looking at the Chinese player Hera's mill over here, this is what you would call an 11 out of 10 mill. Right next to the berries, right next to the hunt, and it's being supervised, exactly what you want. This is going to be a good mill for about 25 minutes of gameplay. This is going to be the heart and soul of Hera's food economy.
Yeah, sometimes the RNG gods bless you, and he's having some nice map generation at the moment. And of course, since this is Altai, you do have this hunt that spawns in the base. Both players have this. And then there's also the second one is kind of in your back pocket, so not too hard to pick up. Sometimes, I don't know if professional scouts is necessary on this map. It could be a thing. I would see maybe China do it if anyone, but he has plenty of food there for now.
Absolutely. I think it depends on how you open with your mill on this map. Usually when you play Chinese, you want to go professional scout so you can leverage that supervising ability with your hunt close to the mill. But given the fact that on Altai you can place your mill right next to your starting hunt, sometimes you just skip it. In this case, I would like to see that for Hera simply because his other patch of huntables is pretty far out, and really, for its value, it's not that big of an investment for Hera over here, so I could justify that. Hera going for some early walls, but that villager might get intercepted by Vortix.
Well, and we saw the previous of this matchup where Hera was harassing Vortix's Chinese villagers so much, and now we've got the scout in here doing a little damage, but he is going to run away. That town center does have coverage of the wood line, it does look like.
Looks like Hera's gonna go for very, very compact and early walls over here. As we discussed, it is all about getting that early damage of the English nullified, and Vos actually work very nicely against that. Vos will be set on the north, in the left side as well, and a Barbican of the Sun will protect that crucial food economy. So Hera's gonna be rather safe, and with such a good gold mine at the back, that's also gonna work nicely for him. Even a stone at the back, so he can start mining stone for a second town center if he wants to.
Now, Harris spent a lot of time playing English, so I like to think he can think into the mind of Vortix, what he might be trying to do. What type of strategy do you think we'll see Vortix do here against Chinese turtling up?
There's a lot of things that you can go for. The first thing that you have to consider is that the Chinese will likely play a 2-town center Song Dynasty boom, but it's not guaranteed. It could still be 1-town center into Song Dynasty, and then sort of a semi-fast castle with the astronomical clock tower. So the thing that Vortix needs to do first and foremost is try to figure out what Hera is up to, because his reaction depends on that. If Hera's only playing a 1TC Song Dynasty play, Vortix should maybe try to go 2-town centers. If it's a 2TC Song Dynasty boom, I would like to see a semi-fast castle with like a forward white tower and a lot of aggression early castle age. And speaking of aggression, there's a forward
Yeah.
outpost from Vortix.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna be seeing some English pressure. I mean, typically they try to go after the wood line, and you see they're on the to the northeast. Both of his wood lines are to the east of his town center, so this is actually an excellent tower replacement. And if you can get another one, even leapfrog forward, and he can push Hera off of the wood, this could be a really big moment. We already have 2 longbows there ready to go, and that tower is going to be completed. It looks like.
Absolutely. Now, part of the reason why you sometimes see the Chinese going for professional scouts on a matchup like this is because you might want to get some horsemen out to deal with those archers at the beginning. So might as well go for that professional scouts approach with your stable so that you can use your stable to deal with longbows if needed. And you see, Hera's gonna have to relocate this wood line a tiny bit over here because the longbows are able to harass it. So Hera could have issues controlling wood in the long run. He's gonna play archers with an early blacksmith, and he also has a stone mine over here. So probably the plan is to go archer defense into a 2-town center, probably Song Dynasty play here.
Yeah, he dropped down that mining camp on the stone, and then doesn't have anyone on it right now. So I think maybe he originally was going to go for that second town center, or maybe some kind of defensive structure, and now he's adapting as he sees that tower and those longbows arrive. Something getting attacked on the south. Scout coming in, but taking shots from Barbican. Just seeing what's going on. All he's going to see is that Hera has a ton of food underneath that mill right now. He does see the archers, though, so he knows there's some archers for the Chinese. So he has a defense ready to go. How many longbows is Vortix producing right now? Is he looking to really do a big push? He's got a few there. Any blacksmiths back at home yet?
Yeah, there is a blacksmith coming in, but he's actually getting the attack upgrade instead of siege. So
yeah,
this to me feels like he just wants to harass those lumberjacks, and that's probably his best bet. In fact, if he actually goes over to this side, he could do quite a lot of harassment from that side as well. So there's actually a solid chance for Vortix to potentially deny the majority of the wood income from Hera.
Yeah, what great wall placement for Hera, honestly, just like stopping those longbows from walking around right out the gate. But yeah, I do think there's room for these longbows still to take some shots at these archers. And I would expect maybe siege engineering could be coming in here soon. Like perhaps this will be, there you go. So I think this is going to be a ramp push. So classic OG English strategy here, going for longbow ramp push here against China. And meanwhile, it does look like Hera is gathering up some stone. Wait, stopped at 144. So did he stop, or maybe he's using it for a tower? I'm not quite. Oh no, he's getting more. Okay, so he's still gathering. That's a lot of. So yeah, probably another town center coming down.
Yeah, he feels like he needs that second town center out ASAP because he's spending so many villagers out there. He probably wanted that second town center a little earlier, but he was disrupted a tiny bit. Now, speaking of being disrupted, one of the things that you can... What is that town center placement? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Nice and close, I guess. So, I guess, I mean, where else would you put it right now? I guess he could put it... He doesn't want to delete any trees. He could put it on the gold, I guess. Yeah, on the back left.
That's... Indeed, you don't have a lot of space over here. This is some very, very romantic town center placement over here. This is how small town centers are made.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could garrison... If there's a big push going on, he can garrison in both of them and have more fire protection each other, perhaps. But there, you look at all those sheep he's starting to gather. I think Hera must have got, like, all the sheep. I'm not sure how many sheep Vortix got, but that's a lot of sheep.
Yeah, Hera has gotten a quite considerable amount of them, but Vortix doesn't have to be disappointed. He's got all the hunt working for him. First ram already coming in. Let's see if Hera knows that, and the answer is no. So, the key thing here when you're playing Chinese against this longbow style push is that you need to slow down the longbow push, get to Castlage, and get to Nest of Bees. That's your key defense, and if you remember the Mountain Pass game, that's what we saw from Vortix. Getting up to Castlage, and getting Nest of Bees out, but without that, it's very difficult to stop this, and you see, Hera's very far from that. He's just now going for the Academy, so he's just about to pop the Song Dynasty. He's very far from Castle, and with that many longbows, you can dive beneath the town centers and start killing vills, although, I feel like at this point, your jackpot move would be to garrison the ram, and just run past the town center with the ram to the back of Hera's base.
I mean, one thing to consider, typically you have villagers sitting under that town center eating sheep. His villagers aren't there, so he can't even just like quickly jump in and snipe a few longbows. So that's going to make a difference too. We have these Rams pushing in. This is looking really good for Vortix. This will be a challenge. We do have Hera going for a raid here on the southeast side, taking out a few archers, but also meeting some longbows back at home. So getting a little bit of value, but he's got bigger problems back at home right now because that's just a few archers. There's Rams in his base.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Hera has taken down some villagers out there, but that was his entire army pretty much, and now his town center is under attack, and this is where the extra range of longbows really come into play. Because that town center does have a range of 8, so if you look at the longbows, they have 7. They can actually stay a little further away from town centers when it comes to sniping villagers. They don't have to dive in that deep. So when the villagers pop out, they don't need to be that close, and the moment that the villagers jump back, they can just run outside of the range. So that helps a lot when it comes to keeping those villagers away from rams, and it very much seems like Hera isn't gonna take down those rams, and he would just lose his starting TC.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to need something here. I mean, it's not over yet, especially, I mean, these pro players, you never know what they've got up their sleeves, but it kind of feels like Hera's strategy isn't quite playing out how probably he intended to. I mean, he's getting villagers, though, so maybe he'll just stall, wait for time. He's not diving it yet. He's not in a critical spot, so maybe he's just calm and collected. He's got something up his sleeves, but these longbows pushing in, you see him trying to repair, but he's also out of wood.
And as I said, those longbows will stay outside the range of the town center as long as the villagers don't pop out. And the moment that they do come out, the longbows will jump on them. 2 or 3 villagers go down here. Hera is going in for defense, and he's going to keep repairing, getting close to Castle Age, but that's going to be a ton of wood that he's spending on it, and he's also going to lose quite a lot of villagers over here.
Yeah, he's going all in on this Castle Age. I mean, look at that. He's waiting for it, but these Rams are coming.
Looks like one ram might go down over here, but behind this one, Hera's economy isn't spectacular. Remember that. Like, ton of idols, a lot of wood spent on repairs. If you look at the resource income per minute, that's actually even, despite the fact that Hera has a 10 villagers lead.
Yep, he's got that -0 stone. Whatever number that equals out to, but that can't be good news.
Town center is still alive over here. One ram is about to go down. Would have been nice to see a repair villager come in and just pull back that damaged ram. But as things stand, Hera is holding. However, I just don't see him being able to like survive against this one in the long run, because it's not like he's repelling this push. It's just barely holding on against it.
Yeah, I mean, I keep waiting, like, he needs, I guess, pop castle and get some nest of bees out, but even with that, he's going to be out of resources. I mean, he's going to get a lot more wood, at least, even if he were to get this age up in. He's holding on to that town center, so doing what he can, but this is costing so much villager seconds, losing villagers as well, and that looks kind of like an all-in push there right now with those villagers trying to take out the Rams, but losing just giant numbers. We've also got that tower there, of course, that's giving that buffed attack speed for this longbow, so they are just very quickly killing those villagers, and I don't see how Hera's going to be able to come back from just losing that huge number of vills.
Absolutely. Hera had to pull his entire food economy to deal with those rams, but that just slows down that cast stage progress, so...
He killed one ram.
Yeah, we're back where we came from. Hera had to sacrifice like 15-20 villagers, a lot of idle time to kill a ram, and you see, Vortix will just be able to get another ram out on the battlefield in just a matter of seconds.
Honestly, this is how I kind of thought Hera might have played this matchup in round 1, so just different plays, but English looking to be a pretty great civilization against China in general.
English is one of the best feudal age aggression civilizations. Hera pops the vills once again. Now, if you're Vortix over here, you don't even really care about destroying the town center. What you care about is killing the villagers that are here to save the town center.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's just like eating away at China's economy, and sure, he has two town centers, but every time he pushes in there, he kills another villager or 2 or 3 or 5. I mean, what's the villager count right now?
Currently 48 for Hera, 40 for Vortix, but Hera has had like 10-15 idols in that town center for a long time. Many villagers have also been killed over here, and you see, Hera is also starting to run low on wood. He's spending a lot on repairing that town center, and he's just depleting that only forest that he really has access to.
Well, and those longbows will get within striking distance of those lumberjacks for sure. And now we even see the food and gold being spent. He's not aging up, is he? I don't think so. So he's spending everything he has to hold on right now.
Nope. Hera's not aging up. You see, he's floating a ton of food and gold. He's got the gold to go up, but he doesn't have the food. And unless he stops making villagers and archers, he can't go up here. He needs to stop making those, but the moment he stops making villas and archers, he just won't be able to hold this anymore.
Yep, and we see just, microing the ram back. The villagers get back inside the town center. Like, they're going to do this dance. They have been doing it for like 5 minutes, and every time the longbow picks off a villager.
And behind this one, Vortix is slowly increasing his own eco as well. And if this is something that goes on for a long, long time, that actually helps Vortix, because the biggest problem with the ram push is that it's very, very expensive to do. But the stronger the aggressor's economy is, the easier it is to just keep on with this push. So this is getting better and better as we speak for Vortix.
I'm impressed for this capital town center, all things considered, has stayed alive. It's been so close to death so many times, and Hera has kept it alive very, very diligently, microing those villagers in and out there and repairing. Sure, he's been losing civilians. I guess you don't want to be on his workforce because he might sacrifice you, but it is still alive right now.
Hera's starting to add some Jugenu to his forces, but as we speak, he's running low on that forest, and I feel like Vortix starts to realize that, because he's been thinking about diving in on that wood line for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, what building's coming on? A house, okay. Another ram. Oh, there we go.
Hera is able to afford a clock tower. This could actually swing things in his favor. I feel like Vortix is actually under-investing into pressure on this side. He could finish this game with a push on this
he could even ram that wall to the north. He could ram through that and walk around. Man, I swear if Hera pulls out of this, it'll be crazy. Because, this has been the siege going on for like over 5 minutes.
But Vortix now stops to play carefully. Like, you see, he sees the astronomical clock tower, so he knows he needs to push now. So far, he has been cautious with the longbows, didn't really fight close to the town center because didn't want to lose them. Now he realizes that it's now or never, and he goes for the kill.
Yeah. Yep. Villagers coming in, trying to repair. Also villagers popping out to kill the rams. We also have some low HP villagers in the mix there. So villagers have been dying left and right, and now that town center is down, it'll at least slow down his villager production a little bit. One ram going down, a second ram on almost burning, but it survives just barely. And I think Hera is going to get... Wait, is anyone even building that right now? He is. Okay, he does. So he's going to get this age up off. So we'll see if he's able to get some nest of bees out fast enough to neutralize this threat. Rams coming in, looking to try to stop that clock tower. He is going to start sieging it. But there we go. Age 3 is reached for Hera and killing that ram. Both rams. There we go. All rams have been neutralized, and has Hera held this?
Maybe, but what did it cost? 35 villagers versus 49, and really, all that Vortix needs to win this game is just to push this wood line, because the nest of bees are pretty expensive on the wood and gold department. If you look at Hera, 0 on gold, 9 on wood, and the only thing that he needs for nest of bees is wood and gold, so how is he going to be able to afford all those nest of bees out there?
Hey, you don't need villagers when you have bees. Those fireworkers or firecrackers will inspire the troops. But there we go, Ram coming back in, and yeah, that's going to be the biggest issue, is just not having the eco to actually produce these siege units now that he is in the Castle Age.
And slowly but surely, Hera is running out of food close to that mill as well. That could be a problem once we get deeper into this game if this push is still going on.
Yep. There we go. Longbows taking off, taking shots on those villagers. Lots of villagers dying right now. I mean, I know he's had 2 towns there production for a long time, but that's a lot of villager dead. So 29 villagers right now for Hera. What is Vortix sitting on?
50. So almost double the villagers. Hera is trying to get 1 nest of bees out here, but now it taps out. I completely understand it. Even if he somehow holds this, he will at best have 2 or 3 nest of bees, and his opponent has a 3 times bigger economy, so it would take at least 10-15 minutes for Hera to recover. And if you just look at that villager timeline graph, that has to be very sad for Hera.
Yeah, and so there we have it. Hera falling behind. Vortix is going to be 2-1 in this series right now. It is a best of 7, and we've had twice that English has defeated China here in this series. And all things considered, I was impressed with how long Hera was able to hold on to that town center under such pressure, losing tons of villagers, and trying to do his best. But at the end of the day, the longbows and rams just proving to be too powerful.